What's up? What's up? Polo Sports Talk and Entertainment back again with another one. Be sure to hit that like button and sub to the channel if you're not a member, and also hit the notifications to get all of my content as well as all of my videos. Now, uh, I know that the game is on. I really don't give a fuck about that shit. I'm just gonna be honest with you. I want to go ahead and focus on our squad and what we have to do in order to get better. Now, I've been hearing a lot of rumblings about landing a potential third superstar, and this to me, while it makes sense, I understand what they're trying to do. At the same token, I mean, how much more firepower do we need? I mean, look, our problem is not having a superstar. Okay, I want people to understand that, and I want to make that very clear. It's not us having a superstar. Now, if you happen to replay this, man, just go ahead and listen to everything that I said, from the beginning. If you're catching me right now, you know, then and you want to rewind it back later on, then I understand that too as well. And shout out to everybody that hits the replay or comes back and looks at this video a little bit later. But now, these are the things that we have to focus on this off season, and these are some of the looming confusions and a lot of questions surrounding our team this off season. Okay, now James Harden. Okay, look, I'm gonna just call it what it is. Is James Harden a shell of himself? Yeah, he played like it, but I have been hearing that James Harden has recommitted himself to being in the gym. Uh, he's been there, working out uh, hard over the summer. Now, of course, he wants to work out hard because he knows that he didn't deserve the max. Okay, and that's one of the that's one of the questions regarding his future with the franchise. Now, he said he'll be here, but of course he has that 47 million player option for next season that he could pick up, and uh, this is what I've been hearing. They said that he's eligible for a Monster Max extension. So of course, him hearing that, all right, he is gonna be in the gym piping down. Not that it really fucking matters because he got his boy toy over there in Daryl Morey, and they somehow, some way, always come up with some sort of master plan. And I really feel like James Harden and Daryl Morey are gonna be the masterminds behind a lot of shit. Now, we if we sign Harden, what does that really do for us? Okay, that's what we have to ask ourselves. It's taking a risk. It's kind of a risk reward. Okay, now he always does this sort of thing. Why you think that he? What's up with it, Memphis? I see you in the building. You said they coming to Philly for cheesesteak. Not no damn Sixers. What's up with it, Tom Wayne? I see you in the building. I mean, we'll just have to see. That remains to be seen. But I know that we really don't need. We're good with the people that we have. Now, I will say this, okay? I'll say this. If if we get rid, because another thing that has came up is Matisse Thybulle. Okay, now if you go back and you go look at my videos, I came out. with the report that Matisse Thybulle said that he wants to work on his his offense this off season. Okay, which I respect, and I know that I'm kind of jumping all over the place, but I needed to talk about this too because this is very important. Now, Matisse Thybulle said that he wants to work on his uh his offense this season, and there have been a lot of rumors circulating about the potential a potential trade that could take place because of course we have the draft coming up, and that can there's probably going to be some moves that could be made. Now, he is a two-time all defensive uh, teamer, you know, and while I like Matisse Thybulle, I was very disappointed in his play this year. I felt like he could have did a lot better in the beginning of the season. He did good, but um, you know, if we could go for the jackpot to get something a lot better, then maybe so. You know what I'm saying? Because he's not, and I know this is gonna be hard. He's not that hard to replace. Okay. Uh, and this is according to Philly Voice. It says, look, and I'll read it to you. It says, Thibault is certainly not untouchable, and the Sixers would entertain moving him. But the idea that they would dump him strictly for salary reasons doesn't carry any weight. And of course, Thibault is is extension eligible this off season, and he's only going to make under 4.5 million this year. So I'm looking at that, and I'm also looking at the fact of Harden. Of course, they're going to go for Harden more than anything. But like I said, it's a risk reward doing that sort of thing. Now, here's the other thing too, and here's the other kicker that I find uh, crazy too. Okay, you know, Dot we Daryl Morey had decided to go ahead and stick with Doc and everything, but you're you're looking at a situation now where Doc is probably not even ruled out possibly going in La La Land because there have been some rumors about that. Now, also there's been, I'm not gonna really look into that situation. The only thing that I trust that probably might happen because they said that they're gonna possibly stick with Russ. Shout out to Too Raw for TV. I saw him talking about that earlier. He was the one I saw talking about that earlier. Then of course I haven't been able to talk about the situation uh, concerning Zach Levine. Now I had said that a while back. Levine has been 1 foot in, one foot out, anyways. But I'm not trying to jump all over the place. But the thing about it is that when it comes to Doc Rivers, I think that he's gonna go ahead and stay because according to sources out there, I think LeBron wants Darvin Ham as the coach. Okay, so that's what we're that's what we're kind of looking at. Uh, People keep asking, about Tyrese Maxey. What's gonna happen with Tyrese Maxey? Da 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 da, and all this other stuff. Look, Tyrese Maxey, man, did a phenomenal job this season. Okay, he made a tremendous leap from his rookie to his sophomore year. Fuck what y'all talking about. Okay, a lot of motherfuckers is coming up in here disrespecting Tyrese Maxey, and that's why I don't understand why everybody's sitting up here saying, okay, yeah, well, you need a third superstar and all this other shit. No, you don't. You don't. You don't need no third superstar. Tyrese Maxey is the future of the team. Listen, if we make a few moves in the offseason, especially the other thing that I've been talking about the whole entire season pretty much is a legitimate backup big. Okay, not no Andre Drum. I mean, sorry about that, DeAndre Jordan. DeAndre Jordan's time has passed. Okay, he did what he could. He did what he could do, and when we talk about a shell of himself, that's DeAndre Jordan. I would have liked to have kept Andre Drummond. Now I wasn't too high on Andre Drummond when he first came, but he impressed me, especially being that Joel Embiid was out of the lineup for quite some time, uh, and for a few games, and he was able to fill that void. And us losing Andre Drummond, it hurt us. Okay, whether you want to believe it or not, us losing Seth Curry, it hurt us, whether you want to believe it or not. And I think some people get that sadly mistaken. But Tyrese Maxey, he was he went from see what people got to understand is that his rookie season he was averaging 8 points a game. He jumped all the way up to 17.5 points per game, and he uh he went up on his assist total too as well, and also he improved his shooting as well. Okay, uh, he improved his shooting from 30% to 42%, and he took 4.1 attempts per game, and he was third in the NBA behind Luke Kennard and Desmond Bain. And that was a question going into the off well going into coming into this season, could he make the jumper and could he be settled and controlled? That kind of remind me of a guy like um who was it? Ja Morant. Could he knock the jumper down? Look, he was able to prove himself knocking down long range shots. Uh, and most importantly that we also have to look at too is that Maxi had the ability to not only create off the dribble, but he showed his versatility by being able to, in catch and shoot situations. Okay, and he see that is key, and that's something that nobody's paying attention to. They're talking about all the superstars. See, that's what they expected a guy like James Harden to do. Now, not so much catch and shoot, but to take attention and draw attention not only off of Joel Embiid, but also possibly Harden if he was playing up the par. Because guess what? Now you got to worry about three different dudes on there that can score, and that's what that's what people don't understand about Maxi. He stepped it up big time, and he was even taking the responsibilities from James Harden that he was supposed to be doing. Okay, and that's why I don't feel like we gotta go for a superstar and all this other stuff. But if that floats their boat, then go ahead. But if it don't work, don't be sitting up here hooping and hollering because I'm sure not. Because I know we know what to expect, especially with the GM slash president like Daryl Morey. Now, you know, a lot of people want to know how much more can he improve. I think that he can. He hasn't peaked yet. He has a lot of, and I'm talking about Maxi. He has uh, a lot of room to grow. Okay, and one of the things that I think that he's not getting enough credit for is his leadership capability. Even though that he's young, he still showed his ability to lead, and he still showed his uh, his poise under crucial situations. Even though we took that L, he was playing with a he was playing with a James Harden who clearly was afraid to take a shot. Was not playing up to par. Like I said, he wasn't shelling himself. He was playing with a guy in Joel Embiid who was less than 100%. I mean, was beat up, whether it was his thumb, whether it was his orbital fracture in his eye, or his concussion. I mean, the guy was pretty much beat up, and then on top of that, you take into account guys that were getting hurt and or could not be there, and one of the main guys that could not be there and could not be there 100%, and then when he get back, he just was not playing the same with Matisse Thybulle. you know, and I think that a lot of people, going back to Matisse Thybulle, I think a lot of people looked at him very suspect, and I know this is sad to say, they looked at him suspect because he did not play in the Raptors series, and uh, I know that's unfair to him and everything, but when he came back, I think people were expecting him to make such I would say a better impact than what he did, and he just didn't do that. And some people are looking at Matisse Thybulle as a liability, especially on offense. I can't def- I can't defend Matisse Thybulle anymore. I just can't. I can't defend the dude anymore because if you're not listen, PJ Tucker, the one thing I respect about PJ Tucker is that PJ Tucker is gonna at least shoot the ball. Okay. The one thing that I respect about, Marcus Smart is he's not afraid to shoot the ball. The one thing that I respect about a um Mikal Bridges is he's gonna shoot the ball. And even taking it back in the days when we talk about your great defensive role players that could do pretty much everything, a Swiss Army knife, so to speak, like a Robert Horry, like I talk about all the time, like a Michael Cooper. Those guys could shoot and would get you buckets if they needed to, but their primary role was defense. Matisse Thybulle does not do that. I believe that he has the potential, but he's a liability. He's a liability. So I mean, going into this off season, man, uh, a lot of questions are really going to be raised, and one of those is about Matisse Thybulle. Now, I don't want Maxi to go nowhere. And see, there are some people that feel like Danny Green should go ahead and hang him up. I agree with that. And there's some fools acting like Tobias Harris should leave or should call it quits too. And I'm like, no, that's cap right there. Because we need Tobias Harris. Tobias Harris came through in a lot of big situations, and on top of that, more so, he was able to take a step back and swallow any type of pride if he had any, because he's a humble individual, and let James Harden run amok when he was over there. But one thing that you can't say about Tobias Harris is that he did not play hard, and also that he was not a force on our rebounding, more so than the points. And when you needed a bucket, he was always there. So all this stuff about Tobias Harris, oh yeah, he needs to go and all this other stuff. No, Danny Green is the one that needs to go. I'm willing. Look, I like Niang. I thought about it. I thought about Niang. I thought about guys like Korkmaz. I thought about guys like Shake Milton. Some of those guys got to go and get us a quality, legit big, but not necessarily a superstar. not necessarily a superstar. And we also got to look at, who's all who's available and what kind of moves that we could, potentially make. But you want this core to grow. The more that we keep bringing in new people, bringing in new bodies, new personnel, things of that nature, we're just going to be starting off from square one each and every year, each and every season. James Harden was a new body. He was a new personality to deal with. You see how that didn't pan out that well. But all along, who was developing chemistry? It was Maxi and it was Embiid. And you also got to look at it like this too. We were doing fine before Harden got there. I want people to understand that. We were doing just fine before Harden got there. Okay? But he's got an off season to, to prove everybody wrong. I've lost faith in him, because it's the same thing year after year. You could talk a good game like you do every off season. Well, you're not really talking a good game. Yeah, you're probably talking a good game to all the strippers that you fucking, or all the steaks and honey buns that you eating. But you're not talking a good game when it comes to bouncing that ball. And that's what we need to see. That's what we need to see, especially in the playoffs. Not no regular season bullshit. I would be fine with James Harden averaging like 15 points a game, but that's not what he's going to do. I would be fine with him averaging 15 points a game, 10 assists, maybe one turnover at the most, and we getting the win. But see, he doesn't have that veteran intelligence like a lot of guys did towards the end of their careers. He just doesn't have it, you know. And you could sit up here and you could try to debate me on this and say, oh yeah, well, Harden this and Harden that. Look at where he's at. He's on the couch again, once again, a complete failure. Now Brooklyn didn't do much better. They got swept, but it it we still both at the end of the day. I felt like we lost more than we had gained, if you really want to be honest. And I know people are gonna be like, "Oh yeah, well you made it further than Brooklyn," but that doesn't mean anything because Brooklyn has a future. They have a future, man. That's what people got to understand. They got picks. They have a future. Uh, got to see how Ben Simmons looks when he gets back. So the future is bright for them. The only thing that you got to question is how Steve Nash is going to do. But that's a whole nother story, though. But um, I appreciate y'all pulling up, man. Make sure y'all like the video, share it, subscribe, hit the notification. Polo Sports Talking Entertainment. I'll get at you later.